Since we've been talking so much lately about what I consider to be a terrible alliance between the United States and extremist Wahhabist Saudi Arabia, I was thrilled to see that Fareed Zakaria asked President Obama in an interview about his upcoming trip to Saudi Arabia, and he actually tried to get some kind of opinion from President Obama about the 1,000 lash punishment sentence that has been assigned to the Saudi Arabian blogger. And President Obama did not answer. I will play for you what he did say, and you will see basically just standard political posturing and redirection.
Will you speak about the blogger to the
Well,
Saudis?
I think on this visit, obviously, a lot of this is just paying respects to King Abdullah, who, in his own fashion, represented some modest reform efforts within the kingdom. But we have maintained a sustained dialogue with the Saudis and with all the other countries that we work with. What I've found effective is to apply steady, consistent pressure, even as we are getting business done that needs to get done. And oftentimes that makes some of our allies uncomfortable. It makes them frustrated. Sometimes we have to balance our need to speak to them about human rights issues with immediate concerns that we have in terms of countering terrorism or dealing with regional stability. But the trend line is one that I will sustain throughout the rest of my presidency, and that is to make an argument to those friends and allies of ours that if they want a society that is going to be able to sustain itself in this age, then they're going to have to change how they do business.
Would you say, Lewis, that he certainly ducked the question there when it comes to will you talk to them about the fact that they're punishing bloggers with 1,000 lashes?
He essentially ducked the question. He addresses, I think he makes it clear that he doesn't like it. I think he makes it clear that in some ways he is trying to pressure these types of allies into, more, I don't know, responsible behavior.
You could see it two ways, right? Which is, well, he's taking a soft approach with regard to his language, but he's telling us that he's trying to influence them behind the scenes. But the other point of view would be, well, he was directly asked about an insane, egregious incident, and he did not address that at all. So you could really interpret the answer two ways.
You can. But I understand why he answered the question this way. Whether or not he likes this alliance. I mean, it seems to be an important one for this country. So unfortunately, that's the way it is.
And he did mention what we discussed. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, which is that there is a shared interest in terms of keeping the region stable in the Middle East for different reasons. Saudi Arabia and the U.S. both have significant interests in stability in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia so that it does not disrupt their oil business. And President Obama did mention that. And that really is so much at the root of what is going on. It is not just because of the oil dependency, which, to be quite honest, is not as large as many Americans might think. The American dependence on foreign oil from Saudi Arabia specifically, I forget the number specifically off the top of my head, but is not as high as many would imagine. But the role that Saudi Arabia's stability in terms of oil prices globally has is pretty significant.
Of course, it's huge. And we are using more of our own oil than ever, and it has helped prices a bit, and it helped us become more independent. But of course, we got to get off that stuff altogether.